All right, so this one says the figure shows the revenue from sales of new toy X weeks after its introduction. We want to sketch a tangent line at the point where X equals 19 and use it to estimate the revenue at the end of the 21st week after the introduction of the new toy. So first, let's get our tangent line. So, oops. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have to make this smaller so I can move these around. And so what we can do is get rid of some all this stuff here. Anyway, there we go. All right, so let's move this over. I don't know, let's call that about 19 there. And then we'll have to kind of make a tangent at this one. It looks like it needs to go down. And again, this is all the things that really we're going to get inaccurate results based on. Each person is going to have something a little different as far as what they're going to get for their tangent line. And so now we need to have 2 points. So let's call that our first point. And so that looks to be, if that's there, maybe a 4. So maybe this is, in that case, let's call it 199, maybe. Okay. Now let's move this over and let's stop inking now. So let's move this over. Actually, let's first kind of find an even one. Maybe let's try right at 195 so we have something nice. That's going to be, I don't know, let's say there. So if that's what we call it, maybe that's, I don't know, 9.5. So that's going to be the key there. So now if we write that one, we'll have, maybe that's 9.5. So our slope of that line is going to be, we had 199 was here to here was 195. It's pretty close to 195 anyway. So we'll call that a 4 for our rise. Now our run went from 9, well, it went from 19 minus the 9.5. And so if we go ahead and we take that difference, that's going to be roughly, if we take and divide all that while we're at it, we'll have 4 divided by 19. So that's going to be about, so it's about 0.42. Okay, so that's going to be our slope. All right. So that's going to be our slope. And so now that would be used to now help us estimate the revenue at the end of the 21st week. Now, the key thing is, do we remember? Oh, and since that's a slope, that's equal to the r prime of x. That's a rate of change. So that's what that is. So now we have to remember what to do to find that 21st week. So that's linearizing or linearization of the line. So we're going to have RL of x is going to be equal to, now remember that was f of c minus, or not minus, plus r prime of c times x minus c. And so x is the number we're looking for in the future. So that's going to be, in this case, 21. So we're going to want RL of 21 equals, now FC, well, C is going to be what we found here. That was the 19. And so that's going to be what is R. I guess these are going to actually be R's, not F's here. So that's going to be R of C plus R prime of C. So what was R of C? Well, R of C is going to be, well, at 19, we said that was 199 plus R prime of C. Well, you said that's 0.42 times X, which is 21, minus that, which is 19. So now we have to take and do 199 plus 0.42 times, well, not 21 minus, that's 2. And so we get 199.84. And that's going to be dollars. $1,000 actually. So that would be the piece they're looking for here. What is the estimate of the revenue after the 21st week? That would be 199.84 and $1,000. All right, so now they say that this graph is actually, this function here. Okay, so it says what we want to do is use that model now to actually estimate the 21. Okay, well, now what we have to do is we have to go and we have to get our calculator and plug that in. So let's clear that out. And so it said now we have a negative 0.42 times ln of 2 times 21, and then in parentheses, and that was squared, and then plus, I think it was 9.5 times the ln of 2 times 21, and then it was plus 170. And we get 199.64. And so let's go ahead and make this big again. And so we get, for part B, we get the 199.64. So that's for part B, and that's plugging it into this equation here. Although, I guess we should have used 0.5 instead of the 0.42. I was thinking we used the value we calculated there. So let's go back, and I wrote the wrong thing down. 0.5, there we go. That's 198.52. All right, so that works just a little bit different. So that is the actual value using the equation at that point, wherever we said that 199 was at there. So that is the actual, and this is the value we calculated when we linearized uh, the the curve at those points where we found that that was a 0.42 for our prime, our derivative, and then we plugged in our 19 and our 21, and we got the 199.84. So a little higher, but that's kind of to be expected because we're going to be above it, and so we would have an actually a higher value there. So we would expect it to be above the actual value because we have this concave down, and when you have something like that, you're going to be above it. If we remember the value here, because this is going to be well, it looks better here. So this is the actual point, and this is what we'd get with the linearization is up here. And so we're overestimating, and it's going to overestimate on this side as well. So that's going to be kind of what we would expect. All right, so let's stop there and we'll come back for more.